Music.
Brick by brick by brick by brick by brick.
I own 100% of Barstool Sports. The sun, the moon, the Milky Way. It is getting so close, I can taste it. We can take a bite out of it. This is exactly, and I mean exactly, why Barstool Sports has to exist. It has to.
Today is Tuesday, October 24th, coming to you live from Barstool, New York. Today's episode is brought to you by Stacker2 Energy. They officially got the Energy Extreme. They got the Stacker2 Extreme Energizer Chewies and the Energy Shot with 10,000% of your vitamin B12. Now, the Extreme Energizer, this shit is no joke. This will kick your ass into high gear. These bad boys are the motherfuckers of energy gummies. They come in 6 servings, and they give you all of the energy and caffeine you need. 128 milligrams of their Extreme Energizer blend, which is caffeine and some other extract that gives you a natural boost of energy. And all you need is this little 6-pack here. You don't need to walk around with a big fat can of some, tall drink. You can either take a shot or just chew up one of these little gummies, carry them in your pocket, and you have all the energy you need to get you through the day. It's a 6-pack of nuclear nectar that's portable, so you can take them anywhere, anytime. These nuclear nectar gummies will get the job done, and they are low in price and low in calories, but high in energy. So go to stacker2.com/barstool for your Barstool Bite Back Special, where you get $5 off your purchase or $5 worth of free products when you go to stacker2.com/barstool. We got a
real quick. I need to critique 2 people's things.
Oh God, here we
Pat,
go, boy.
Pat, too much gray. You are.
You say this every time I wear these.
You're in wait. When I walked over, I was like, what's wrong with you? And you go, like, why does everyone keep asking me that? Because you look very sick.
Yeah, most people say my
Yeah, what
eyes.
happened to your eyes?
If you could zoom in really close on these eyes. A month ago, Joey put makeup on me, and he used makeup remover, and I've been permanently maimed. Right there.
Well,
look at that. Fucked up that is.
The good thing is, I just thought you were naturally disgusting.
You thought that because of the rest of them.
I think this is a cool outfit.
Dude, the other
Right.
thing, listen, I did the same thing. I don't know. Remember when I was wearing gray and I was in the studio and I looked like I was a dead corpse? I don't know if it's the lighting.
People love trashing people for wearing a lot of gray. Who cares?
Well, hang on.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, everyone's always like, oh,
not done yet.
Growlfig.
You really think this is that bad? The gray.
I don't know if this
when I
helps or
walked
hurts
over,
your
I was
case,
like,
but I
oh
think it
shit,
looks
Pat's
good.
like really sick.
I've been getting self-conscious about what I wear. No, it's definitely just my overall well-being is like really
The
bad.
hair wasn't.
Remember, didn't you have AIDS for a little bit?
No.
He thought he did. I didn't. He went on
Clear that up.
It's
No.
my favorite story in the world. Like literally.
I thought I was
top 10
terminally
stories ever.
ill.
He thought he went on such a bender and was in such bad shape and so tired he thought he had AIDS.
Yeah, I remember doing a Friday Night Pints episode where Pat was like, yeah, I got
Yes,
fucking
that was
AIDS.
exactly it. You were like still waiting for the results.
No, I literally I went to the Chelsea clinic. I was like, I have something. They're like, what's wrong with you?
So
Turns
ridiculous.
out just
levels are not
hammering
good.
fucking
T-cell.
non-energy drinks for fucking ever killed me.
I've hit a lot of, in my partying days, had a lot of those rock bottom mornings. Never once did I think I might have a terminal.
Well, it was just the things I was putting in my body were not like.
Well, it was the dicks too.
That's the only good thing I have going for me. It just wasn't a lot of health, but I think this outfit is like not bad. There is a stain here. I've been more self-conscious about what I wear since I started sitting on a couch with your ass than I have ever been in my fucking life.
I mean,
this is a bad outfit.
So Feitelberg and Pavs dress very similar. And the other day we're at our live show, and Pavs has on a pair of Del Toro loafers, which are like nice leather loafers, with white tube
Yeah,
socks.
of course, Del Toro loafer.
White tube socks pulled like all the way up, with like his whole ass sock being exposed. And I was like, when I was growing up, if somebody dressed like that, you would be the biggest fucking loser in the world. And Pabs just is like, yeah, I'm like a cool guy with my tube socks and loafers. And
For a while, it was always like, oh, high socks like are lame. If you wear high socks, that's lame. You're a loser. You need no cuts. And
I used to roll them down and put them under my foot.
I
no one would
believed
see my
that up
sock. Nobody
until
could see my sock.
February of 2023, and then people were like, "No, now short socks, right? You got to get long socks." So I wear these fucking long. It's just fashion's
stuck
always
with the short.
changing.
Dude, I dress like
Everything's always changed.
Yeah.
I dress like it was
about movies. You said about
But
But like, it's
fashion
not like
is blank.
it's not like this is good now and this
it's
is
circ-
bad.
Yes, that's what's
that?
annoying.
Like movies progress, progresses. Fashion is like this isn't
Until they
cool.
regress.
Now the same
Until they
thing
regress
is
it.
cool.
Dude,
now
I
it
wore
is-
bootcut jeans
Now it is cool.
like I was in
I was looking
2009.
at Marvel,
like a year
progress. Now it regressed,
I mean, the
regressed,
jeans.
But everyone can objectively say Marvel's gotten worse. Nobody would be like, oh, this is good now.
I see what you're saying because everyone has such different tastes. But like when we were saying everyone in movies and everyone in fashion can agree at a point. And fashion is such
I
a
think
dumb
that
word.
there was a
It's not
certain
fashion,
point
but it's
where
just like,
high socks were, this exact thing would be considered loser.
Yep.
Now it's considered coolish. You can't say that about like a bad movie from 2004. You can't be like, is now
good.
Sure. Oh, is now good?
You can't
No, you're
say-
right about that.
Some things
It's the
like
same
age.
thing.
There's a couple
Right.
instances where you're like, oh, that actually aged
Grandma's
better than I
Boy?
thought. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that, like a cult classic. But for the most part, it's
The
never
same
gonna
exact
get
thing
good.
does not all of a sudden like,
Whereas
oh, now we love this
Yes.
movie,
Yes.
and then a few
Yeah.
years later, now we hate this movie.
right.
Yeah,
Which
no,
is-
you're probably right about that.
Most people are fine with it, but the people like jeans being like baggy, skinny, back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's insane. It's just like in 1 minute you get absolutely roasted, and the next minute it's like, oh, now I'm on
Decides that?
style. I'm on
Feitelberg?
brand.
Yeah, no, Feitelberg literally decides it. It's like,
Have a meeting.
can you dress me?
Yeah,
Well,
not
I
with your
mean-
clothes though.
I want to go shopping.
Oh, you're bad.
I want to go shopping with John.
You got a good frame though, bro. You're skinny,
Dude,
tall and shit.
fucking, you find a 34 jean. It's not from the Gap, and then talk to me.
I guess so.
The more important thing I wanted to address.
Yeah, we make fun of Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't to make fun of. It's just, Tommy doesn't wear belts because they're annoying.
Don't wear a belt.
He just leaned forward. I saw his whole ass, and I was like, wait, he's not wearing a belt.
What ass?
Your pants just like naturally fit at a certain.
Yeah, they just fit, and I mean, like maybe occasionally if I like, for a fashion, but like today, like I'm flying, I don't have to deal with all that.
Today, I'm not like, it's not like, oh, you have to wear a belt.
You would-
But, like,
you would wear, like, a
saying you
belt with
never
a
wear
suit,
belt
though,
as
right?
well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about with like casual jeans and pants like that.
Like most jeans, you just be like, no belt today.
I don't think I've ever.
I
fit
rarely
a
wear a
jean.
belt. Oh, today I do.
When I was a 32, I was like stuck
The
in
pants just
between.
fall down. Like
Yeah, it's either like too
it's
big.
hard to get an exact
Yeah.
fit on pants.
Well, I did M
I
sculpt
have
on my
a
ass.
perfect body.
That's a perfect.
I
That's
don't
what they
wear-
always
sorry, I
say.
don't wear
Tommy
belts,
has
I
a
have
perfect body.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
when you have like your wallet and your phone stuff, you're
I mean,
picking
if I
up
need to wear a
constantly
belt, I'll wear a belt. But like my main few pairs of pants in my rotation just fit me.
What size your waist?
Let's guess.
Hold on, which one comes first? The
Width.
You're 32.
No, width is first.
You're 32.
Yeah.
You're 32-30.
No, I think width first.
It's width first.
Yeah.
width is first?
You're 32-30.
No, close.
34.
30. 30.
33 and then 32.
They make odd numbers.
I don't know what size I am.
34 is way
are?
too
What do
big
you
on me, and 32 is too tight. Like if I get 30, I would really.
Yeah, that's like 33s are usually sometimes hard to find, so that's why people get 34 and wear a belt.
Yeah.
I just buy whatever they have. And if it's between 32 and 36,
Sometimes
I'll
I think
buy it.
Feitelberg's like an alien whose body just like he wears a size small underwear.
I don't.
Who cares?
I don't. I actually have lost them all. But there was this
Get a size.
a stretch where I bought a pack. I just forgot underwear came in sizes, so I just grabbed a pack off the wall, bought them, and they were size smalls. And I just whenever they were up in rotation, I just wear them.
Dude, if I put on a size pair of small underwear, my
my
day would be
balls.
like, I could never even function. And
Yeah, are
somehow
you
he just
guys-
like
Are you boxers or briefs?
Oh, we're a what?
boxer briefs, right?
Oh, I thought you said just
yeah,
regular old boxers.
Yeah.
You wear regular.
I know, like.
I think you were probably
yeah,
a boxer guy late into life, like Gaz.
Yeah, well, no, I sometimes will still wear boxers. Like if there's no chance of a woman seeing my body that day, I'll wear. I think I probably have boxers on right now.
Don't you feel like
I'm
it's
flying.
bunchy underneath your pants?
No, I feel the opposite. I feel like the briefs ride up on me.
Well, you're probably the brief's probably too small. Maybe you need a trunk.
Well, certainly when like skinnier jeans skinnier jeans were in, like having boxers.
Well, then you need to wear briefs.
was insane. It was like you're trying to stuff like a towel in your fucking.
But it looks cool if you see like a little bit of like bunchy boxer like poking out. That's
Really?
cooler than like if you see a guy bend over and there's like a tight brief, it's like, ugh.
Well, you mean like the old school white thing. But like most brief, like most.
Like if you just see like a waistband, like a Calvin Klein like waistband, but it's tight.
Well,
like
that's fine, but like if you see like an Adidas like printed like underwear, like that's gross. Like I would rather see almost like a skater style like.
Oh, okay,
cool,
I kind of get that.
Yeah, I like skaters.
Yeah, I can understand that.
You also like your tricep today. I've seen you checking out your tricep like 3 separate times.
I literally haven't checked my tricep.
over here.
It's true. The damage is done.
You keep looking, and you're like,
Is it good? Is it good?
It's noticeable.
I was gonna say you noticed the tricep.
Maybe it's just looking at you. Oh my God. It's emaciated.
Anyway, we got a lot of shit on deck tonight. Dollar Slices returns. That's the monthly comedy show with Francis and Sass and Owen and all those guys putting together one of the best underground comedy shows in New York. That is at Rockwood Music Hall tonight. Tickets are $20. The Pat Bev show will have a live podcast at 5:30. If you are in Philly, you can go to Sansom Street. And then there's the Barstool Sports Invitational in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena coming up on November 8th. No other shows to promote. Nothing else is out tonight at all.
What is that second bullet?
I don't see anything. The Smoke Show airs tonight.
Yep, there it is. I didn't even see that.
This is you tricking the entire internet?
Yeah, this will explain my fight video from earlier this summer. And let me clarify. I see some people being like, I don't want to give too much away, but I see some people being like, I never believed that. There's a lot of people that saw that fight video and were like, this is real, and I have the receipts to prove it.
Who are now saying they know it's not fake?
No, I don't know like if they're flopping now. I'm just saying
got it.
There was at the time a lot of people, and maybe it was real. But you'll have
Find out tonight.
I did say tonight has maybe, I think, the funniest scene of the whole series, but I legitimately think like 30% chance I get canceled.
What?
I saw you say that. I wasn't sure if that was real or not.
No, that's real. Like I would not be like, I think I'll be fine, but
Is it racial, sexual?
He throws a brick through
not
a gay bar
racial,
window.
not just
What else can you get canceled for?
like special.
You trying to open a sushi restaurant?
Yeah, or
Made fun of stuff.
no, like you know.
You said words you can't say.
No, I never said any word I couldn't say.
How are you gonna get canceled?
I mean, probably not. It's just
you want this.
I want to be canceled a little bit, but I think you'll understand.
Putting out like
I'll explain it to you guys off air.
Off air.
Well, I mean, people. I don't want
time
to
does it
ruin the
drop?
spoiler tonight. 8 p.m. on the Barstool Sports YouTube Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited for it.
the,
I very much enjoyed the smoke show thus far.
What are you doing, Phil?
Dude, mine too. I'm like trying to figure out how to sit right
Phil
now.
was just off camera, just rabbit punching the back.
That's
of
what you
his
do when you have an itchy wig. You tap it.
Their ailments differently.
I guess so. Max Scherzer just fucking. Not really Max Scherzer, but the Rangers just fucked me in the ass last night. Bruce Bochy, I did not take into account Bruce Bochy knows what the fuck he's doing, who pulled Max Scherzer at the perfect time, a.k.a. right before his patented Scherzer meltdown. He was barely in the game. Had he pitched another batter or two, that game probably ends up tied, and it's entirely different. But the Rangers just mashed their way to the World Series. I really I think it's ridiculous if Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer are partying for this ring. I guess you get traded in the
Imagine
deadline.
being told the start of 2022, hey, next year Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer, they're
Gonna have a ring. They're gonna have their ring.
That makes me horny.
Insane. We talked about it on KBC Radio, and it was like it's insane that is still on the table just for an entirely different team in the matter of one season. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
I'm all in on the Phillies. I feel like I'm very like see it in the stars. The Rangers have classic World Series loser vibe.
They do. I mean, that's what
the Diamondbacks are the fucking Diamondbacks, and I feel like the Phillies have like the storyline. Phillies all over it, like avenging last season.
Yep. That is exactly how I felt when they were up 2-0 and they were like dramatically beating the fuck out of everyone. I was resigned to the fact that they were winning the World Series. Team of destiny, it's written, all that shit. And then Craig Kimbrell happened, and I got like roped back in because I hadn't been watching, and I was just like, you know what, Phillies, they got a likable team. The fans, they're a good fan base. Whatever, it's fine as long as it's not the Braves, not the Yankees. I'm fine. And then I got a little taste of them losing with Kimbrell, and I was all the way back in. So now I am full blown.
You should have to be a big
Diamondbacks fan once again. 2001 all over again. Make sure. I mean, if If it's Rangers Phillies, what do you want?
Probably the Rangers.
Yeah.
I'd sacrifice that.
Yeah.
Why?
Me too.
Just, you
you
can't
don't
have
want
a
the
team in
Phillies
the
to-
division. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
why? It's
they're in
like
the same
Philly's
division.
so. Oh, all right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I think it'd be much more fun, like around here at least, to see.
Well, I'm not just here for fun, Pat. Okay. It's not like one of your silly little parades. It's sports. It's
I thought it would.
serious business.
I thought it would be fun.
I see Smitty smiling over there, being
Yeah,
happy.
he needs something.
I'm sure he's here.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
I think Za tweeted, and I think Bill Simmons talked about it the other day, is Philly the new Boston? And it made
That
won
is-
They haven't won in
Super
6
Bowl?
years.
they had a-
Super Bowl a few years ago.
and I was like, it felt like when someone is like someone who grew up like a Michael Jordan fan and like fucking who was that first overall pick, the guy who would do this?
John Wall.
No, is this the new MJ? Is this like?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are really reaching here now.
Right.
Kwame Brown.
I mean,
yeah, Kwame Brown.
things are going very well, like for regular standards for Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not even.
It does feel like
fucking
every
remote-
few months
Well,
there's like a Philly player, like Max is screaming about a new team. Like
totally,
it's
but
crazy that
but they're not
like,
winning them.
Right, right,
So
right,
that's
right, right.
Yeah,
kind
but they
of
have a
the most
shot.
important part.
Like-
I did see someone call the city of Runnerly Up, which I was gonna run with that one if the Phillies don't make it. I mean, I mean, that's a classic question. Would you trade? You know, would you want to be in it every year but only win like one, or have ups and downs with a chance of winning multiple?
It's ups and downs, the chance of winning multiple.
Yeah.
It's,
Depends on how many though. Like it's got to be
More
being
than-
in the playoffs every year is fucking awesome.
It is very good, but like
It gives you a reason to
But
keep
it gets
going.
taught like as someone who's seen the Yankees make the playoffs every year and lose every year. That gets
Yeah,
tiring.
it grinds on you.
That-
I've seen the Yankees lose so many times in the playoffs.
Yes, and it does. And like honestly, this year was a more enjoyable baseball season for me than like last year.
Because you tuned out.
Just like, oh, they stink, whatever. Like,
don't have
I
the
didn't have to go into the hope of October being like, maybe they'll beat the Astros.
I wonder. I feel like I know why I did it, but when I heard that you guys were doing it as well, like just checking out, I feel like is kind of a newer age thing, where like if the Mets had like a prolonged, like it happened with the Knicks for me, like a prolonged really bad run, I might not ever come back the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like there were like when Dominguez came up and the prospects came up, but like I didn't need to watch fucking Jake Bauer or like all these scrubs like every night.
that.
It's like, and like I'm very much like if the Yankees win the World, like I only care about them winning the World Series. I don't care if they fucking
Anything
win
else?
84 games or 82 games.
No, totally. Yeah.
Tommy, healthy debate. Would you rather be your current life as a Yankees fan, or would you rather be like the Washington Nationals, who have their one ring in 2019? And
I'd still rather be the Yankees. I mean,
so
because
there-
the Yankees have the ring in 09. Like still current enough where I remember it.
not
barely.
that current. It's like,
I remember that
What were you,
very
7?
vividly. No, I was 13.
I mean, we're running on 14 years since that ring, so.
I know, but it's one ring. I'd rather have all the playoffs.
I still haven't accepted what Boston sports has become.
it's
Like in my head, I am still like.
But like
very
I
much
also
like we're gonna win this year every
still
fucking.
good.
yeah, I think the demise of Boston sports is also a little overstated. It's not what it was, but like Celtics are contenders, Bruins look great, they'll be a playoff team. Red Sox and Pats not so much, but you still have
Well, but it's
two
in
of your 4
comparison
teams.
to-
That's what I said. In comparison, I get it, but like still 2 of your 4 teams are very good teams.
It felt like a guaranteed deep run in almost every franchise for a decade.
Right.
It was like, all right, here we go.
I
And
mean,
now
it
it's like,
was,
ugh.
it was well beyond reasonable. It was well beyond disgusting.
Well, like,
it was like incomprehensible what happened.
The Patriots kept it all together while every other team would reload while the Patriots
Yeah.
kept winning.
Right, so
Where,
there was never, like,
the Red Sox
oh.
did it with fucking
Oh, dude.
4 separate, basically,
Or regimes
teams.
at the time that
The
Patriots just kept winning Super
Patriots would show up
Bruins.
to the Celtics games and everyone would support.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
will say
oh,
the
I
Celtics
fucking
kind
love
of
that.
rode. They got one, right?
Yeah, one.
Yeah, the
Kind
Celtics
of like
are-
rode that way.
Yeah,
of,
How
like,
many did the Bruins
Boston
have?
dominance is
How
1
many
and
did
1
the
for those.
Yeah, but they
guys,
went.
right?
just
But they
have
went
one,
to
but
the
the
Yeah,
second.
so the
They were
Celtics and
in it.
Bruins.
The Bruins
multiple times, right?
Eight-
Bruins
the
went to
Celtics
3
were
Stanley
8
Cup
11.
finals.
The Celtics have been to 3 too.
Yeah, but theirs was a little more recent after the.
But they went back to back with the Lakers, or 2
Yeah.
out of 3.
Oh yeah.
No, they went to Lakers.
Warriors.
with
And then
two.
But
recently,
the
they had
Celtics-
no
2 out of 3
shot.
with the Lakers, but then they went with the Warriors.
The Warriors smoked them, though, right?
No, that was kind of
close here.
I think it was
like
4-2 maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember ever being nervous that the Celtics were.
Yeah.
The Celtics completely rebuilt. I'm obviously biased, first of all, but like the Bruins were more in it in my mind because that team kept being there. The Celtics collapsed and rebuilt in that process.
But you always had something to like a parade or a celebration of
Yeah.
some sort, so it felt like it never stopped. It really is, to tie it into Barstool Radio, because I know it's not really sports talk here, but there's like so many different factors that made Barstool become what it became. But I think the one that is the most, like, we found a lot of the right talent. We got really lucky. But like, that happens. People find good writers. That has happened before. We did get lucky in the timing of it all with the internet coming about and blogs coming about, but like the other companies had that. Like the fact that it's a Boston company and it coincided with a run that you could not even concoct in your wildest dreams in order to fund the whole operation is nuts. Like truly, if you were ever to be like, what is the best a city could ever do? It'd be like win, like have all 4 teams win like one in 20 years, whatever it is. It's like, how about a decade of all the fucking time with every single team in every franchise at least being in it in some capacity.
Dude, from ninth grade until when I was 30.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
There was a parade like every other year.
and there was a one period where it was like a cup, a Super Bowl. It was like a Grand Slam, right?
Yeah.
It was like in 1 year.
There was one that they got 3, I think, in like a.
Is it
I think they
11?
call it a Tiger Slam, where it didn't happen in the calendar year. I think there was one where they got 3 in like a Tiger Slam style.
It was
I could be wrong.
sickening.
I don't think they ever had 4.
Sickening.
No, they definitely never had 4.
Absolutely sickening. Like for obviously for a New York fan, and then like AFC East, like there's other reasons, but as a Barstool New York fan, it was fucking brutal.
Brady
I guess it was
asked-
actually good in the long run. Like I paid my salary basically. Like Dave was like, T-shirt sales, boom, here's your salary. So like it kept me alive. So I guess in the long run, if I really had to be level-headed about it, it's a good thing for me. But I mean, when my
They didn't
teams
win
never
the-
did anything, let alone win all the
Are
fucking
we
time.
If
publicly
Boston didn't win,
thanking
you'd
Tom
still be at
Brady?
Deloitte.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly. I bet if you asked Dave, he probably saved up like a stack of cash. What was it? Oh, yeah. I mean, they probably started to win enough that he was like, all right, I sold a whole bunch of fucking T-shirts, got a bunch of money from the bar, got some money from Bud Light, whatever. Like, now I can pay a salary. So, in a way, it's all good things. But for my individual psyche, it was a fucking nightmare.
Brady was
like
asked.
the Avengers Endgame of like, we have a 1 in 7 million.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all these things have to go right.
It really is, though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fascinating. And the day that like some people who write about media and shit like stop, take their head out of their ass and like stop hating on us, it is an all-time story. There's only there probably will be other successful companies or more probably likely successful individuals that like do what we do, but this could never happen. I think in any other time period, any other city, any other guys, it's all the exact perfect storm.
I also think we ruined sports media a bit. The
Barstool or Boston?
Barstool. We were saying this the other day when I think we were at the airport, and I think it was NFL Network was on, and everyone was in like quarter zips and T-shirts. Everyone looked like this, and I was like, put a fucking suit on.
Yeah.
Like it was like
It
Stuart
started-
Scott
it
wouldn't
started
be
with
caught dead
Right.
looking like this.
If you have a desk, wear a suit.
Easy, Nate. Easy.
I do actually think there is something to that. Like, I feel like Barstool, like there was traditional sports media and Barstool worked because it was like, I don't want to say satire, but like it was like an offshoot. It was different than that.
It was.
You don't want to say the word it's not?
What?
Nothing.
What? I generally don't.
Nothing.
And then sports media was like, oh, we have to adjust, and they became a little more Barstool-y.
Yes.
But now it's almost like, well, there still needs to be some.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm actually
Pendulum
going.
went too
You can't let the
WFUV
fucking inmates run the asylum. Someone put a tie on for God's sake.
WFUV, like the Fordham Radio. I just got invited back to do a workshop this month where you go
Get
talk
the fuck
and like give
out of
advice.
here.
And I don't really know.
What are you gonna say,
That's
dude?
what I'm saying. Well, he's like, I don't really do anything that I
Find a
taught
millionaire, become his pet.
there. Bet on college basketball. But I was like, I would almost want to be like, still keep doing traditional stuff because I feel like now, especially like younger kids are like,
I gotta be honest, it's utterly ridiculous. They came to you before they came to me.
well, you didn't
ridiculous.
finish. You didn't
No,
finish WFUV.
but I mean, I
right?
did do it. I was there.
4 years, sir. Assistant sports manager.
That is
senior
true.
year.
4 years. I think I probably did like a year and change. But, That's gonna be funny. You should do that like Smoke style.
Now I want to, I want to help these kids.
If you went in
Are you gonna
there,
bring a camera?
the camera,
No,
and
I
you
don't
were
think
just
so.
like fucking, just
Yeah.
being your obnoxious self, that would be unbelievable. What's up, big
big
man?
dog?
Join the show,
doing,
bud.
brother?
How are you?
I figured
Yeah.
Patty checking out, he had to go. What's up, dog?
Yeah.
I heard, I don't know if it's public, don't know if I'm supposed to say this, so I won't say the exact number, but Bob Fox was telling me that the Logan Paul Dillon Danis numbers that were reported were like completely fucking false.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whoops, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but
Well, there he is.
I think, kinda, I don't know.
Inflated numbers out of the Danis fight?
That's out there though? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
The exact number? No. Okay. Yeah. But he said that out. Come here. Can you just say what the tweet said? I don't want to like put numbers out there that are not supposed to be out there. I don't want to fuck anybody's business over.
So Dave Meltzer, who is like a wrestling reporter, but he's been doing fights for a long time as well. He's usually pretty good with pay-per-view numbers. He said on traditional, like cable, it did 10,000 buys
Okay.
in America. He said the real number of total buys is way closer to 100,000 than it is 1.3 million. He said it's about 100,000.
And they said it's 1.3 million.
So, I don't know who said it's
But that
1.3
number is
million.
out there, yeah.
I believe someone said it, and then maybe Logan like quote tweeted it or something. I think they almost have like burners to be like,
Totally,
people are saying it's
dude.
1.3
Of
million. They're like,
course.
oh, someone said it.
100,000.
I didn't say Ted Cruz's wife is ugly.
Exactly that.
So this is for the most recent, the Logan Paul, the one that happened. I didn't even know that one was happening. That one happened that was like fucking baseball setup, right? It was like a midday fight.
It was in Manchester.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
England.
It was the
So
undercard
100,000
for
total?
the other one or whatever?
Which
it's the
makes a
undercard
lot
for
more
KSI.
sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That makes
more
a
sense
lot
than-
more sense.
If the
that's
Jake
like-
Paul Nate Diaz did 400,000, they were saying, I think. Makes sense that this did 100,000, even though it had more hype.
It did have more hype,
Honestly.
but it was two lesser fighters in a sense of like
Yes.
boxing. Like I mean,
Exactly.
what Logan's doing in WWE, I don't even know why he does this shit. He's a fucking unbelievable wrestler. Just go do that. You
He
know.
does it just to get like Prime out there.
That might be the case too. I think I saw a clip of him. I didn't watch the full episode. I think the way Dillon Danis promoted that fight, I think Logan like fully regretted it.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think he was like it was
And Dylan's
absolutely
still
not
going.
worth
And
it.
Dylan tweeted a picture of him today with like a different girl.
That guy
Like, I thought
stinks,
Nina
man.
was your.
Yeah, that guy
One and
stinks,
only.
dude.
He canceled on me. Like I had
Dylan?
him at
Is
I
that his
had him
thing?
at,
He like never shows up to anything.
yeah, I had him at 12:30, and then so I got here, whatever. Then they asked me to push to 1:30. Didn't call when they didn't got here, so I called at 2. Can you do 2:30? Didn't call, so I called at 3. Can you do 4? And then they canceled at 4. So I was like, okay. So I left, and then I was traveling that week for NASCAR that next weekend. So Rob, almost as a favor, went to go do him on spinning back fist. This guy's only fought twice in the
I was gonna
UFC.
say, I thought he
yeah.
was like a fighter.
No.
And then when I saw him like on his knees and shit, I
Yeah.
was like, oh wait a minute, this looks like Rough and Rowdy.
Then he canceled on them too.
Holy.
So it's like,
Like an hour after the interview was
Isn't
supposed to
is he
happen.
like connected
stinks.
to McGregor or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. He
I
was,
thought he was like a
McGregor
fighter.
brought him in as he's like one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world for sure.
That makes me crazy. Like that blows my mind too, because even though it's boxing, he looked like he was like stumbling and like it looked like he wasn't even like
Well, jiu-jitsu, yeah, he's most comfortable on his back.
on your back. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he
Yeah.
was.
like my wife.
I got her.
I'll tell you now though, even though those numbers, it has gotten so easy to pirate these things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I
Especially
think
for their
it's-
young audience.
It's over.
Their audience is all
Yeah.
kids that know.
Well, that's why I think it's more like
Yeah.
Prime. It's just like a giant billboard. So even if, maybe it's not 1.3 million, but you get like several 100,000 people to look at Prime, to look at this, to look at that,
Right.
it's probably still worth it.
I said we could take something from this, and the next Rough and Rowdy, we will say did
I
850,000.
was going to say,
Isn't
it's a lot.
100,000 basically only like double what Rough and Rowdy does sometimes?
100,000.
Double what the
More than
Barstool
double, yeah.
Awards do.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that's
I mean,
what I'm
I think our biggest
it's-
Rough and Rowdy was probably the Conseco one. That
Conseco
was
one,
like
yeah.
Conseco.
60,000,
Something like
that.
that,
Yeah.
crazy. That's
I
like
think we usually
pretty
do
close.
like 30, 40, I think.
Yeah.
For like a, I
Or
mean,
just normal Rough
right,
and Rowdy.
no
without
headliners,
like
Yeah.
funny shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in a frat house watching it because I'm going back to college. Did you hear about that?
I mean,
Every fucking week.
bro.
I'm a DJ too, by the way.
I saw.
Yeah. And the kids all had it up there on an illegal feed, which went down right before the fight started. So then I screen mirrored my phone and I went to the hip. So I'm one of the guys that paid for it for the first time. I paid for the thing and I watched both fights. I watched the Danis Paul fight, which was fucking disgraceful, or I thought it was the most disgraceful
even
thing.
By the celebrity standards, this one was bad, right?
But then the next fight, KSI versus Tommy Fury, that was even more disgraceful. Like it's
Tommy can kind of fight.
Yeah, he's okay. He's a good middle of the road. Like, this guy is a genius. I wrote a blog. Tommy Fury's a genius because he shows up and he beats up influencers and makes a lot of money, as opposed to wallowing in mediocrity in the light heavyweight division.
Absolutely. Do that.
So he's fucking
the
genius.
best looking dude in the
He's the best looking guy in the world.
So.
And now boxing, I wrote another blog, apparently I'm prolific, saying whether or not boxing is dead. Boxing does need to have fucking Canelo Alvarez come out in a green Ferrari or whatever that fucking guy did. You know what I mean? Or
I feel like, in a weird way, though, it's good for the. It's bad for like the sport, but good for the popularity of boxing. Like, it keeps boxing out there way more than it used to be. And then like, those fights sucked, but like I'd be more likely to watch like Fury Wilder again or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Because I did just start to take just more interest in the sport in general. But this shit, Jake Paul. I mean, the one thing has always been, the only reason this even sort of works is that you play by boxing rules.
I don't believe Jake Paul's going to do this either.
I mean, you can't.
He can't do it.
What is
the
it?
next fight is supposed to be Jake versus Nate Diaz in MMA.
Like,
he will like
MVP
break his
promotions,
neck in
Jake
like.
Paul's people said like Jake accepted a bout in MMA, but like Nate Diaz hasn't really.
He's just
said
an
much.
MMA fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's
we would
just
watch
like
him,
you would
right?
get fucking choked out or break your arm or whatever, like instantly. Or if the first time you take a punch with, not the 16-ounce gloves or whatever the fuck it is,
You could also, I feel like, get way more hurt in a UFC fight than a boxing.
Oh, he gets snapped, yeah.
Break bones. I mean,
But the PFL is the guys who are signing it, right? Like, which I think is pretty brilliant. It's that.
Who's that?
PFL is that secondary league to UFC. Like, I think PFL is about to buy Bellator.
Yep.
My cousin is a PFL champion. He won the $1 million as a lightweight last year.
Way.
Brendan Loughnane. He's my 5th cousin, so we worked it out that I could borrow $6,000 from him comfortably. And then Brendan was right away once he won the $1 million and won the belt. Like, the PFL, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost like their whole season is a tournament. And then their final night of fights, let's say there's 6 fights, there's 6 belts and 6 checks for $1 million.
That's dope.
Well, yeah, that's pretty fucking
it's
cool.
MMA with a season format, so you have to.
That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
And then you lose, you're out of the playoffs. It's
if you're not going to be the
it's
UFC,
easy to
it's the
follow.
best way to do it.
I've always thought like Warrior is one of my favorite movies. I've always thought, obviously you can't do something like that in a weekend, but I've always thought like, something like that,
It's like that.
would be so fucking.
They
What do they call
4
it?
times in a weekend,
A
right?
Grand Prix.
Here comes the
used to
boom.
that, They for sure used to do that. But
having
it is
like a Cinderella story of
Because
like
it's also
an
like
upset
once you win the championship, it's not like you're gonna like lose the title in your next fight. You're the champ for that year, and it resets the next year.
Yeah.
So it's
But
like
if he
a
won-
sports. It's like you're the reigning champs. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he moved over, and because we were at those fights together, and so his skill set, if Brennan, who again, $1 million belt holder, the whole deal, if he was to go over to the UFC, is he the 4th best lightweight?
No,
5th, 6th, 10th?
it's hard to say because he didn't have the best season this year either. He
Right,
got knocked
yeah.
out twice.
Right. All right, Robbie.
there's
we
still-
don't say
Hey, come on. That's Fifth cousin. Have some respect.
I like the guy too.
I didn't know the PFL did that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I
that-
think that's
It's
very
that I
to
could
just
find
separate
myself
too.
watching
It's not just
more.
like a lower UFC. It's like a different product.
Yeah, and so our matches, is it still like pay-per-view night, like a whole big thing? It happens at midnight with the whole like production, or is it kind of like a game where it's like
They like only do one. They've only done one pay-per-view ever, and it was last year. They're probably going to do the championship night's going to be a pay-per-view, but they usually try to get nights that the UFC's not on. So
Right.
you might get like a Wednesday night PFL card.
to be honest, the thing to me, like, if you told me like you want to watch this baseball game, it's not MLB, I'd be like, no, I don't want to watch that. But fighting is fighting.
And they're signing like
2 guys
really
beating
good
each
As
other
long
up.
as there's parity.
Yeah,
Right? So if it's the
that's why this celebrity shit sort of works, because
Yeah.
you don't have
They
to
both
be a
suck.
UFC or a.
Yeah.
It's just like I want to watch the same way I would want to watch like Bob fight Meek Mill right now. I just like, let's fucking fight. I don't know, it's fun to watch people fight.
I got $1,000 on me.
Do you think there's any chance the UFC eventually buys the PFL?
No.
Do you think that's like the PFL's goal, or are they just
No.
gonna do their own thing?
No, PFL just got a bunch of money from Dubai and Saudi Arabia, I believe.
What's
Going
going on with
around.
the baseball in Dubai too?
Yeah,
There's a fucking like Saudi Arabian baseball league.
Gregorius is getting drafted.
Bartolo Colon, Robin.
PFL's
no?
just looking to be like the alternate. They're not looking to like overtake the UFC
Gotcha.
or anything. They're just looking to exist because they're both on ESPN.
But that's like
They're
what
kind of, like,
Bellator
alongside
was
each
that, and they bought that.
Well,
Bellator, there's
so
rumors
Bellator's
that
owned
they're
by
going out.
Paramount.
Yeah.
So Paramount owns Showtime.
okay.
Showtime is exiting all of its sports. So there's no more Showtime boxing after the end of this year. So HBO had left boxing a couple of years back. You know, like your childhood of watching
sport
it.
is not.
They said that the sport is changing into like a pay-per-view model and whatnot, so they let it go. And then Paramount announced last week that Showtime is dropping all of Showtime sports, which the majority of it is boxing, and they also own Bellator, which is allegedly being bought by the PFL. Did I
Is
get
there
that
any
right?
way it could be like a minor league sort of thing? Like if you win in the PFL, you get called up to the UFC?
Not really, because of the way the companies are run, especially PFL trying to get into like the super fight division. They just signed Francis Ngannou, like Jake Paul. So they'll try to stay separate, but the UFC does like the Contender Series, which is kind of that. Like you fight,
right,
you win
get
if
a
you had a good
contract.
performance, you get a contract.
So I mean, people are complaining about UFC money. Like these other guys must be making like nothing then, right?
It's tough. Like the high end of PFL and Bellator are definitely getting paid a lot, and PFL you bet on yourself to make the $1 million at the end of the
Got
season.
it. Right.
But yeah,
you could end
UFC
up
across
making
the
that
board.
way more than a UFC fighter if
Yes.
you win. But I bet
Like a
low
Brendan
level.
Loughnane made the right call doing PFL, going through the season, winning the $1 million. He would not have made that in the UFC.
Right. No way. Yeah.
So why doesn't the fourth best lightweight in the UFC leave, go to PFL, and beat up Brendan Loughnane for $1 million?
yeah, totally.
That's the question.
That's
and guys in the
what they wanna
UFC have
do.
done that. Like
Yeah.
Shane Burgos, a New York guy, just left and went to the PFL to take a bet on himself.
If you're again, it's like rather than the mediocrity thing. If
Right,
you're
right.
you're gonna win.
Tommy Fury the shit out of
fine.
it.
But that is interesting.
By the way, Tommy Fury's got no better. No, he doesn't need to. And he's fighting
And
against.
he also is it's like listen, no one's gonna like put you in the Boxing Hall of Fame, but he also, in my mind, is kind of like well liked because he's like the boxer who at least puts these guys down. You know what I mean?
Well,
no one's gonna be like, oh wow, Tommy Fury, I'm impressed with you, but it's like, hey, at least Tommy Fury beats the shit out of these guys who run their mouths. You know what I mean?
I had a sound clip from KFC Radio where I said that Jake Paul will never beat a real boxer.
Yeah.
And then Jake wound up taking that clip. I showed you, right? And put it behind him.
walked out to.
First,
His entrance thing was me, my voice. Like, so it was bulletin board
his,
material.
Like, hype
from your
walkout.
show. Yeah. And then he lost, right? So I was like, yeah.
So
And it was exactly what you said was going to happen.
Proved you right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember Large, it was like he stands back on his feet, he does whatever it was, and it was like, yep. And
Yeah, he did exactly it. Flat-footed boxer. He'd be a very good bouncer. He's getting better.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching Jake Paul. I saw something today, 2018 versus 2023. 2018, he looked younger than anybody, right? It's before he started to get all tatted up and whatnot. And I guess he did some, boxercising thing. And he was, obviously as awful as anyone taking their first boxing class. But he is getting a little bit better.
Yeah, listen, 5 years of training and a whole bunch of money thrown at it with the best trainers and the best food and the best steroids and everything else.
Right.
I mean, even all the pro boxers at one point started with
that
no
was
experience.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Like, I didn't see the video. I saw like the screenshot of him and it said like Jake Paul denies cocaine use. Like, who
video is
fucking
weird,
cares?
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
I love it.
Also, he's obvious. Jake Paul obviously does.
Jake Paul does.
If he doesn't, he's a fucking loser.
Like, what?
Excuse, he was like, I'm just
Because
a
it's
sweaty
awesome.
guy.
Is that what it was? He was sweaty?
And he was sweating and he kept like touching his nose.
He meant like in the fight. People thought he was on coke in the fight.
After his brother won,
After his brother won,
Yeah.
he went into the ring just to like celebrate.
Gotcha.
He
Oh, he
in
was
the
definitely
ring.
on
He was on
coke.
coke.
Yeah.
but somebody also like touched his hand.
Bro, anyone.
And he went like this, so somebody thought like they handed him almost like a one-hitter or a key. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to break
I thought
it
he was
down.
like doing it like in the post-fight interview almost.
Yeah.
Dude, in
He should be.
England,
He's Jake
cocaine-
Paul.
Yeah.
Coke's like weed here.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
it's
yeah.
fucking. Bro, when I went to the Liverpool game, we were at this bar right outside Anfield, and some dude in the bathroom was just standing by the door. It must be free, because he was just like, as people were leaving,
scooping you?
complete strangers, he was just like,
Like a bathroom attendant handing out like a mint.
He was just like, "Here you go," like you were walking out like, all right, time to go to the game.
I saw that UFC London when we did that for Patty the Batty fights. You saw it in the stands like it was weed. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
it's fucking
Like
everywhere.
Nate Diaz walks out.
Is it
people
like
light up.
decriminalized or something?
No. I think it's just.
No.
It's just
Dude,
nobody-
there was like that news report from like 2 years ago or something like that like 70% of the fish in London have cocaine in their system or something like that. Like it's just everywhere.
All the South American players too. Like if you see the classic clip of Diego Maradona.
Yeah, Maradona was
Somebody runs out onto after he scores a goal, and so they rush the field, and some guy like literally hands him a bag, and he fucking goes face first.
I think there's stories of Maradona being like, you know, like showing up at like the last second to like the World Cup after having
his
drug-fueled orgy. Like
in his documentary, I think HBO did it. It was written into his contract with Napoli that like he got off Tuesday through Saturday, so he could just go on.
Like, there was no stopping Maradona, so just let him do what he wants.
And LeBron powder with the
The 86 Mets, they're
I mean, listen, I'm ready for all the Mets
John
to get
Jones,
back on
greatest
coke.
of all time in MMA.
He just kept failing drug tests, right?
Yeah,
was
just-
always
I gotta get into this.
Next smoke show, yeah.
Dude, that would
How I
be a
got
great
addicted to cocaine.
episode. Season finale is just smokes just blowing along.
John Mulaney's a very funny guy.
I have yet to see anybody, you know, fail on
A
cocaine.
lot of people are saying smokes needs an edge.
But yeah, this MMA thing, there's no way that shit works out. I mean, it just can't be, right?
I don't think so.
Does this happen traditionally in boxing, like historically? Like I feel like with them, there's always like the backing out. Yeah, I guess it does, right? Like the backing out of fights, and then like
Well, typically, when you back out of big fights that are announced, it's because of an injury that happens during more. I think athletes in general get hurt training than they do playing, and definitely fighters and MMA guys. I had that one guy Ortiz. He was like, I got all my
Ortiz?
Tito Ortiz.
What a dope.
I got all my
Dan James.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All my injuries from training. Right, you know what I mean? So that happens quite a bit.
And also cuts too in fighting.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You get cut open and it's like, all right, well, I'm fine, but I have stitches in, so.
I was shocked at that Dillon Danis thing, right? Because that microphone hit him right here.
Yeah.
You know, not above his eye, but close to above his eye, which could have been fucking.
Could have been fight over.
been
Dillon
curtains.
Danis would have had to fight Mike Perry, which would have been horrible for him.
Right.
The replacement is a real one.
Oh, really?
UFC guy. Now he's bare knuckle fighter.
Yeah.
That
He would
would
have
have
brought
been
the
awesome.
fight to him. Yeah.
Dude, the bare knuckle shit, I don't think
crazy.
should be legal.
I watched
That
some of it
is
this weekend.
That is crazy.
It's
crazy shit.
I've seen more female leagues than guy leagues.
They show that a lot more because they cut easier.
Holy
So you
shit,
see
those
like
women, bro.
the before and afters for those are so striking.
It's
because
fucking
they're-
hamburger meat.
Yeah, that's why
What
that girl.
What could those girls possibly be making? That's worth that.
The high end, a lot. Like
Really?
Paige Van Zandt got paid a fuck ton to.
What's a fuck ton?
I think like over $1 million. I think.
Okay, that's a fuck ton.
Paige Van Zandt also.
Where the money
Confirmed
comes from? I'm
fuck ton.
so confused.
That's got to
about
be
that.
it's cocaine. It's got to be like all a drug front or something. That's crazy.
Paige ran away from that to do OnlyFans.
She
where
did.
she's
She did
making
it
more
once, and
money.
she's like never
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, like her OnlyFans is.
I mean, if I'm going to subject my body to anything, it's going to be sex on OnlyFans before it's mashing my face
Yeah.
on bare knuckle boxing.
I'd rather take a thumb up my ass than a thumb to my eye. Quote that if
Would you
want.
rather start? Would you rather start an OnlyFans than do a Rough and Rowdy?
It's a little different. Rough and Rowdy's a little different. Rough and Rowdy's like 3 1-minute rounds. You could get in and out of that. Bare knuckle fighting's like you might have scars for life.
For life, yeah. I mean, I've always said to do Rough and Rowdy, I need to be paid my entire earning potential for the rest of my life. Because I think I will just get
knock your
so
brain out.
fucking embarrassed. Well, no, yes, but I think it will just be so embarrassing that nobody will
Career
ever want to hear from me
suicide.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like just whatever my salary and my potential will be for the next 30 years, and then I'll do it.
Have you ever talked about like who you would fight? Who would make sense in your weight class?
Probably at this point, Kelly Keegs. No, I
yelling
mean,
about
my
Barbie
weight class, like the
entire
guys that
time
would
to
beat
do
the
it.
fucking shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not that I don't weigh enough. I certainly weigh more than I'd like to. It's just that
I would
Bag of balls.
never do it, but I feel like the perfect circumstances it has to be like I would never fight a
Maybe me versus
Barstool
you.
employee. No, I don't want to fight a Barstool employee. Like you got to fight an outside Barstool employee who people dislike, and that way you just get the full push behind you.
for $4 grand. See, like everyone else in the world being like,
Is that what he won? $4 grand?
yeah.
Oh,
Which at this time, come on back, Marty.
good
come on
fight,
back.
too.
Yo,
I was fucking.
dude. Let me say this. So
That was a
listen,
Super Bowl, right?
Jose Canseco like probably made more money in Rough and Rowdy than he did in baseball, right? I mean, his deal was crazy. There was, I think, some other people. What were some of the other persons? I'm sure you know all of them.
Billy's was pretty
high.
good, but it was definitely Jerry got like
Jerry
100
and
grand,
Nadeau
and
was, like,
Jeff
the
Nadeau got like
famous one.
100 grand.
How did they both get 100 grand each?
So something, it was something like around.
You always tweets like, I got 100 grand for it, whatever.
Supposedly they got a ton of money that was not worth it. I think. I don't know
Oh,
exactly.
I think that was the top. Like they'll never do that again.
Yeah. Okay. I think like Canseco made a lot, but I think it was our biggest one ever. We got
Yeah, that was a huge.
brought in all
That was
the
a huge
fucking
one.
all the buys. I don't think Jerry and Nadu did, and then I remember that fight being.
They just were tired. Yeah, they got very
I don't know why I was like that was one I was gassed up for. Me too. I think I watched it here, and then like I don't think I watched 2 rounds.
I mean,
I know that
fight thing of Rico got in the do.
Yeah, that was all. That was all better.
Like, it was like
Oh yes, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
But I think, I mean, stamina is always a problem in Rough and Rowdy, but it must be something extra with like the adrenaline or something. Because I remember those guys were gassed like immediately.
Yeah.
Like 10 seconds in, they were done.
I think Jerry was vaping 2 seconds before he walked in.
Now,
Nadu fought in his shirt. If the boxer's like not taking their shirt
yeah,
off,
you
like,
know that's a problem.
Yeah, this one might not go too long.
It's a long sleeper.
That's hilarious. Now, $4,000 stinks, but
Yep.
I think that like I remember that like launching you a little bit.
That's why I
kind of
remember
have,
I was on a
like, a career
6-month contract, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
I got to do something.
And
And
I
was like,
personally remember being like, okay, like this kid is, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
you went crazy. with the
Post-fight
crazy
interview
eyes.
too. Like, yeah.
yeah, I was
So,
concussed.
Everything.
Yeah, I wasn't rooting for you in that fight. 'Cause
No,
I
but literally nobody.
I wasn't
Oh, no,
rooting against you,
I
but I
was-
was closer with.
I think it was
Matt?
Large and
I was.
Ra were like the
I'm the one who
only
picked them.
people in my corner because
Well,
no one knew me.
it
Also,
was just you know, like a seniority thing. It was like this guy is
Yeah, he was
Lou's
there for a
guy,
while.
he's been around,
yeah.
And but that was also like I think probably the most even Barstool fight we've had. No.
Went
It
back
was-
and
yeah,
forth.
Smitty and Chef was pretty good. The first Smitty and Chef, well, the only
Yeah.
Smitty Chef fight, that was pretty good. But that was like
This was like a real
remember
fight.
Us
I remember
saying
being
like,
like,
that felt
"Ooh."
like it was like a real like fight.
Yeah, because I knocked him down, and then he might
Knocked
have.
his contact out. I
knocked
remember that
his
was
contact
part
out.
of the
Contact's
fight
a
where
problem.
YP was in the corner trying to stick this contact into
Yeah.
the I was like, YP
Got
has
his gloves
20/20
on.
vision. He's never done this before.
That fight though, Diplo is the reason why I knocked him out.
He hyped you up.
He
before you
told
went
me
out there,
because he was like telling me, he's like, I want to go fight tonight. I'm like, you just can't go in there and fight.
Diplo and YP were gonna
Gotta
fight.
fight that.
Yeah, I know.
If that was
Because I'm
allowed.
allowed.
somehow, They
You know?
both of them agreed we would get in the ring.
He was
right
like,
now.
I go to like when I'm in China, I go underground, fight people. I'm like, dude, what? And then he's like, do a fake left to the body, hit him in the right. And I swear to God, I did that to Matt Brown, and I knocked him down.
That was definitely our biggest celebrity fight, like in the stand. Like I remember being next to like Waka Flocka Flame.
Josh Allen was there. Like,
Josh Allen.
Wait, was that was a Super Bowl?
yeah, that was
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah.
The Miami Super Bowl one that got flooded also had Rob Lowe there at the last.
Yeah,
Rob Lowe showed up.
Joe Burrow was there.
Both
Remember
guys on
Shooter
his app.
McGavin sitting in the
Shooter
rain?
McGavin, that's one of the
Shooter
all-time.
McGavin stranded in the rain was the funniest thing maybe ever.
It's funny though.
Actually,
Rough
that
and
was
Rowdy.
when I watched that one next to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I remember standing next.
We were in like the
we were
same
on-
That's
booth.
crazy.
those-
Crazy.
Rough and Rowdy now though, which is crazy for us, like influencers suck in out Rough and Rowdy. Like if you bring influencers over, but if you bring like the Able brothers and like the homegrown guys are so much better.
Bobby Lang, all those.
Yeah,
I mean, you were a product of like you were too early. Like
wait.
if you did something now, you would probably get like 25K or whatever it was.
Oh,
but
Coach
I literally-
Doug's got like bus fare, right? I mean, like so they don't.
Oh, I forgot Doug's fun.
that was
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same thing that where the Mean Girl had fought Alex.
Yeah.
Had fought somebody, but yeah, Coach Doug's I think had to buy his own
did
gloves.
people buy for Alex?
I don't. Yeah, I think it did okay.
Wasn't she with somebody else?
Kirk, right? Kirk was like in her
No, like
corner
didn't
against
wasn't there another Barstool fight that night?
Doug's.
O'Malley.
Oh, yeah.
No, Grace fought in one. Right?
O'Malley was
O'Malley
different
was the
night,
next
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You think we'll ever have another inner Barstool one?
I think so.
Yeah, I eventually.
No, like
We
two
will.
Barstool employees fighting each other.
Each other, yeah.
I don't know.
I think we will one day.
Because that's fun.
I mean, in like our
Because
history,
you don't
yes.
have to hate each
I don't
other.
know.
You
Right.
know, like
You kind of do.
The only thing is you need.
Made sense.
Kind of have to not like him though, because like I did not like Matt.
There has to be a little part of you that doesn't like him. I think.
Yeah, because that's what makes it way more real.
I'd like to call out Big Ev right now. That guy.
Max called out Rico.
That would
There you
be
go. Like,
fantastic.
if you want to fight,
Right? I think.
Yeah.
Who did?
Max.
Called out Rico.
That
Really?
He said that tweet where he said classic Rico, always inserting yourself into other people's content. I was
That's
like,
when it
that's
starts
real.
to get
That's
real.
real.
Yeah.
That was a
Yep.
real
Yeah.
tweet. That's real hate. That's real.
You've been waiting for that
And
one.
what was Matt was just like, I don't like this guy.
Matt was like doing he would say like, I sell your stuff. I could do such a better job than you. All this stuff and was come upstairs and start making fun of me.
I wanted to
Nonstop.
be a gambling guy.
I want to be a gambling Marty. And then he went on
Yes.
camera and kind of sucked.
There was
and
some
then-
real blood there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just remember that there's that one picture of you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I mean, to me, it's a legendary like picture. Like
Isn't it your
you were
profile?
possessed.
I haven't changed that. I look unbelievable. I got abs popping. They'll never get back to that.
I do remember being like, okay, like this kid. Anybody who fights in Rough and Rowdy, I've always sent all of them a nice note, being like, that is something I would never do, and you did it for the company, and it's good for business. So like, I appreciate that, and I know some people take it seriously and train for like months and shit. So that sucks.
I've
But
said
in that moment, I remember being like, all right, like this kid is, you know.
the fact that Billy is not our Jake Paul is insane. He should it shouldn't work. He shouldn't do any work and just train and fight at every Rough and Rowdy. It would be such a good idea.
Like
Yeah.
those SoundCloud rapper type.
And I mean, he absolutely like that would eventually lead to him fighting Jake Paul.
100%.
Wasn't that his
That was
original
his
plan?
goal,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then he
Like,
just kind of stopped.
He tried to fight Billy McFarlane, and Billy backed down.
If you can believe
Billy
it.
Had the
Billy McFarlane.
He was like,
swindled
I'll
us.
fight you as long as it's Muay Thai and allows kicks. Or, like, we should allow leg kicks or something. Like,
just
I
not
would,
it.
like that would like, he said something about a street fight, as if like in a street fight he would just bust out a leg kick.
Yeah. That, I mean, I would put a strong chance on eventually there being enough beef or enough of a purse.
Yeah.
Because the hate thing is real, but if Dave just says like, listen, if you can sell 100,000 pay-per-views and you guys get half, like you can make serious.
Dave also loves Rough and Rowdy, so like he'll even put up something too. Like
Yeah.
if it's
So,
a
like,
real.
It's like expanding. Like we already put out the advertisement for it, like Gillian Wallow's knockout party.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not called Rough and Rowdy. It's a similar.
Are they?
You're involved in that one, right?
No.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
Gillian
I thought it was you, Gillian Wallo. I
would
knew
be-
David.
That would be awesome.
That would make my life. But no, it's just Gillian Wallow. So the next one for us is going to be
Meaning,
January.
like announcing.
yeah.
Got it. That will be
whole
very.
crew.
That will be very funny.
I think
Those
it's going to be
two.
having
It's gonna
more of
be
an
great where it's
urban
like
feel.
that's going to be like I'm sure we're going to find great fighters at that and bring him to Rough.
Yeah.
It's like SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
UFC PFL.
Yeah. It's going to be
Same
great.
thing with that Matt Brown guy not being technically in content and him doing a good job with Marty. Like there are people outside of content who want to fight. I know Snapchat
yeah, we
Steve had
talked
said.
about-
Snapchat Steve would be
Steve's
a
a
problem.
fucking monster. Yeah, I don't think anyone should fight.
Oh yeah, David was.
Fights was going to kick his ass.
Well, yeah, I don't think we should like use it for like people want to get involved in content. They fight in Rough and Rowdy.
No,
you
yeah,
know?
but
like
that
Snapchat
guy
Steve's an
would've-
example of someone like
I'd be
he
okay with
definitely is
that.
not interested in content. He would just be a really good.
We were talking
Yeah.
about him the other day, and John was like, "That guy has to change his name. I will never listen to him ever again."
Email is tough.
For real, he can be sending very important stuff.
It's
and
spam at this point.
I'm not
it really
gonna-
is.
Every
Someone in IT was like, "This whole company's gonna get hacked because everyone stopped opening." He was like, he sends important emails. I was like, nah.
Doesn't matter. Change your name, bro.
Go get your shine box.
Yeah, for real. Would you ever do it again for the right price?
For the right price, yeah. I do have new
with the-
teeth,
those new
though.
teeth,
The new
though? Yeah, I
teeth
was
is
gonna
got to cover at least that.
You're not getting teeth knocked out.
It's
bro.
got to
Mouth guard, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It would have to be
all right.
like something significant
think your
because
number
it's like 4 months of your entire life. It was miserable training too. I also had a trainer that didn't speak any English and just made fun of me the entire.
Let me ask you
You trained for
this.
4 months.
No, it was like 2 months.
If you did it again, would you put more training into boxing or cardio? Because everyone says
I remember
like
Pat saying he was.
boxing
he
goes
said
out
if
the
I did
window.
it again, I wouldn't even train. He
Yeah.
was just like, you lose the boxing certainly not, and like the adrenaline takes over, and you're just like blah, 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 so it doesn't really matter.
I do more of the box because the cardio, like they did so much cardio, but it just adrenaline gets to you completely.
Yeah,
but it's more about getting punched because I got knocked out 3 days before my fight.
you get knocked out.
I got trained.
Yeah, but I've
Good.
No, it was bad. Yeah,
You probably have like some CTE shit for $4 grand.
100%.
No.
And Matt Brown was supposed to give me. Not much was going. Matt Brown was supposed to give me his money too. That never happened. But
Why would
yeah,
he give you his money?
Oh, it was
we
like,
did
all or
we
nothing.
did like the you get your purse. It never happens ever.
No.
But like,
Speaking of, does Fighter ever settle up?
I'm not sure.
We gotta wait.
Hasn't bought me a drink at the track.
All right, let's take. What time is it? Let's take some calls quick if you want to call in. 888-78-STOOL. It's 888-786-6522. You can talk Rough and Rowdy, boxing. You can make fun of Tommy, baseball, whatever you want. We do have this clip while we wait for calls. We do have this clip of Frank the Tank's cameo. Now, Frank the Tank is, I believe, either number 1 or number 2 in the world in cameo. He gets a lot of business with a lot of people who, if you're not familiar with Cameo, you can ask these people to kind of make a video of any kind. Usually it's, hey, can you announce the order of my fantasy football draft? Or can you tell my friends that they're in my wedding? But I remember what made Cameo blow up was some like pseudo-celebrity was doing breakup videos. And I remember that I signed up for Cameo.
You don't remember who, obviously.
I can't remember, but it's the reason why I initially signed up, because I was like, this shit is lame, but this was funny content, because it was like this guy was, being like, hey, so-and-so wants to dump your ass, you're a fucking loser. And then, so I made a video being like, I'm joining Cameo and I will do shit like this. And then as soon as people asked me to do it, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I can't do it. I mean, it is, I don't like inserting myself into anybody's relationship, let alone being the bearer of fucking horrible news. Frank the Tank was he was commissioned, I will say, to make a video to explain to someone that their girlfriend knows that they have been cheating on her. So Frank made this video.
Blake, you fucking snake. Blake rhymes snake, and you are a fucking snake. I mean, Sandra, she knows. She knows that you are cheating on her. That's right. She knows you're cheating on her, and she says you are O-U-T out. This is supposed to be your 5th anniversary. Well, you didn't make it. You fucking lost. You bailed on plans. Well, if you don't want to be with her on your 5th anniversary, then that's it. You're out. You're dumped. You fucking goddamn feeble ass motherfucking fucker, Blake. You motherfucking snake. I mean, all the time Sandra wasted on you. It's a shame. It's a shame. And you're cheating on her. You pathetic piece of shit, Blake. I mean, she knows. She knows that you're cheating on her. Well, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, Blake, you goddamn motherfucking snake.
I love the I means and the you knows. He's just trying to it's got to be like a minute long. He wants to give them the money's worth. I mean, that is a.
What a personal touch. It almost seemed like he was.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like
her
he knew
husband
her.
or something. Yeah,
If you're Blake, you gotta be like, this is fucking.
Dude,
This was all worth it.
honestly, if you're gonna
This is
get caught,
hilarious.
the best way to find out that news is through something like this, where it's at least it's like, okay, well, we're making a mockery of the whole thing now.
Yeah.
So you know what? See you. You know what I mean? That I can't even imagine.
Like if it was Sandra, like if you're Blake, you're like,
Yeah.
The other option
Comes to
here
you
was Sandra
crying
weeping and showing me her broken heart, and I'm seeing what I did, how it affected other people. The other option is Frank calling you a feeble motherfucker. I'm like, I'll take option B.
I
every
kind
time.
of think, as much as she probably thinks this is oh, I owned him. I mean, you're getting away scot-free in my mind.
Yeah.
I would just be like, got your video, I'll pack my shit.
LMAO, love the tank.
Yeah, follow the tank. This is amazing. I mean, nobody wants that, but if
Dude, whenever Cameo comes up, I talk about I've only gotten Cameo once, and it's to this day, it's like the greatest experience of my life.
Who?
I got it for my dad. I got John Hanna, former Patriots offensive lineman, before the Brady years. He was basically like the Patriot, and I'd never done it before, so I had it was probably like $150, whatever it was, and it was you only have X amount of words to say, so I was like, can you just wish my dad a happy Father's Day, tell him his kids love him, whatever. John Hanna is apparently retired out to Wyoming or Montana or something like that. He's in a cowboy hat, not in my video, but in his picture on Cameo. He's got an eye patch on and a cowboy hat, and he's clearly sitting in this cabin type deal.
eye patch.
And they're usually 30 seconds or what like that. John Hanna talked for 8 minutes or 7 minutes about fatherhood and kids loving their father. And in my clip, it was just can you tell my dad his kids love him or whatever, something like that. And he's like, and Mr. Feitelberg, in the request from your son, he didn't even say your name, so I don't even know how to address you because that's all we are to our kids. We're just dad. and that's all we'll ever be.
Wow. Dude, I'd be crying.
Dude, like I still I have the video.
Video like that?
I still, like I'll go back and look at it and like tear up. It's like
Yeah.
it's between 6 and 8 minutes. I forget exactly how long
Dad
it is.
fucking loves
Probably like the first request he got in like 3 months. I need to knock this one out of the park.
I spent the night in a hotel room next to Frank's for a Rough and Rowdy.
Oh my God.
And it started at 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't realize that Frank was next door to me. We checked in at different times. By the way, I think if you're traveling in a group, never put anyone next door to.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. Like,
You know what I mean?
I want to go watch porn. I want to do whatever.
Yeah.
I need to fuck a chick and she's screaming my name.
Right, yeah. But all of a sudden, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. I didn't know it was Frank again. And it was just this rattling, like a mariachi band next to me. He does but all the time. By the way, over the course of a couple of years, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Totally.
Like this is real fucking money.
At least.
Yeah. And so I like, God bless him for doing it. But I guess he has a Yahtzee shaker, and it was right before the beginning of football season.
Yep.
So that's how he picks the draft. So he banged out from 5 to 8 after I had a night of drinking, just fucking and yelling. And then we walked out around the same time to go to the venue, and sure enough, that scumbag next door to me, who was shaking maracas all night, was fucking Frank.
Oh, so you didn't know
I had no idea. Yeah, like I heard muffled
what could
yelling.
possibly be going on?
Yeah, like shaking and fucking yelling. I couldn't even
Keep
venture a
screaming
guess.
feeble.
The motherfucking feeble.
Let's go to Mark. Mark, you are on the line. What's up, bro?
Hey, man, I think for Rough and Rowdy, you guys should do Stephen Shea versus Rico Boss. I think the build-up would be great, and ever since Stephen Shea went after Shane Gillis, like, somebody needs to hit him in the face. That was ridiculous.
Stephen Shea is one person who I think people, there seems to be, he's always getting yelled at or somebody's mad at him, and I could see him oddly being like, I accept.
Oh, he'd be
Like-
probably a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, like he's in pretty good shape, and like, did you see him challenge Dan to a wipe-off the other day?
Oh, yes, I was there for that.
Unbelievable. Everyone was critiquing each other's wiping of their ass,
Method, yeah.
method. And Dan was like, Stephen Shea stands up and he wipes, he balls it up, he goes front to back, whatever it was. And Stephen Shea just like stands up and goes, let's go right now. Let's wipe our ass, see you as the clean our ass. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it right now. And he tweeted it and was like, I will not, I will not stand down to any challenge. I will wipe my ass right now. So I could see him being like, I'll fucking fight. I think that the Shane Gillis thing, I think, is kind of blown out of proportion. I think that was just shit that happens during a case race. Like, things get weird.
When you're obliterated.
But Rico and Che could be a thing. I don't think Rico will ever fight, though.
No.
I think Rico's better as the, first of all, reformed man, different man.
Right.
Now, healthy debate.
But maybe he needs a way to get that anger out.
Yeah, that could be true. It's a healthy way to get it out. I think, I mean, Che's not in bad shape. I think Rico is better being like, sometimes when you do those fights, it's like the culmination of like, if you lose, it's kind of like, I don't know, then you can't talk shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if you win, it's great, but I'd like it, I'd rather keep the character going and have the
That's a good point. You kind of,
it's like,
But
where
Rico,
do we,
even if
we've done it. We fought.
yes.
We've reached the
thing.
highest we could fight.
Right.
we could
no
get to,
more
so-
shit talking, there's no more nothing.
I think Che would do well. I think he does need to fight somebody within Barstool. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
those opportunities, the best situation Barstool put together was with Patty.
Yeah.
When they had the homophobic guy with not a lot of teeth, and then they named it Pride versus Prejudice, which was brilliant. And they gave him a guy who was 6 inches shorter and who
And he beat the
stunk.
fuck out.
Yeah. So you set it up so he, so stepping into that, I think like you
love
would
can win.
say, like if they set me up with somebody perfect, you know what I mean? Like Tommy versus Smoke, whatever the fuck it is.
I don't think
it's perfect, and that's
Stephen Shea. I'm trying to. Who at Barstool could Stephen Shea?
Patty.
Yeah, but there's not enough hate there, I feel like.
Stephen Shea is very prejudiced.
Yeah, he told me once.
You should see him off camera.
Oh my God! Behind closed doors, the words come out of that guy's mouth.
One word
his
gets
movie
said a
reviews
lot
are
over
bad.
and over.
Trunk full of rope.
Who would you fight?
Yeah, I don't know because I'm so old.
Size.
And then
I think
size-wise, like I kid around with Big Ev, but
Brandon Walker?
Yeah.
Brandon Walker and I. I don't know because he's that much younger
you
than me,
could still throw
right?
hands though.
No. Oh, could I? No, I mean, I would.
You boxed when you were younger.
Yeah, I boxed
so, like,
in college.
More than the average human. Like if you box right now, you can box.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be able to. I would, like Marty says, he trained for 2 months in earnest, 4 months, 2 months. Like I would need a year to get into anything.
That's because of your shape, not because.
Because of my age and my shape.
But as far as like knowing how to box, you are far ahead of.
I would be better defensively against another amateur boxer than.
I think more than anything, it's you are not afraid.
Yeah, no.
Like once you would stand in there and take a punch, or you know how to just like dodge without like running away. Like if I was in a ring, I'd be like running in circles. You know what I mean?
So even against a guy like, if you use Brandon Walker as an example, he was here right before he left for Chicago, and he was on like rollerblades or roller skates, and he fell down, and I came over to lift him up. And when you're lifting up somebody on roller skates, you're really lifting like a cadaver, right? Because they have no center of gravity. So I was like, oh man, he's a big man, and Brandon's in much better shape than I am, and a younger guy and whatnot, you know. But yeah, I would feel comfortable going toe to toe with him.
I think you would
at least defensively. I'm going to be 52 on Christmas Day. I'm going to send something.
I think you
you know what I mean? So I think, but again, like, but that's the only thing that, like, to Kevin's point, I like, and plus with our heights, like, it would be fought at this length the whole time.
Yeah,
I'd make sure. So.
I think you would beat the shit out of Brandon Walker.
Oh, I don't know.
Brandon was pretty athletic.
Yeah, I think he's a strong guy too.
I think so. I mean, unless Brandon has a fight history that I know about. I think if you boxed competitively, even 25 years ago, I think you have a very, very big advantage. A very, very big advantage.
Thank you, Kevin.
We had the infamous shove off with.
Dev.
Devlin. So Devlin might be someone to fight. Yeah. He's in the best shape of fucking anybody here.
I couldn't think of somebody
on that guy.
Yeah. By the way, he's meaty. Yeah, thick meaty cock.
I said, like, we passed him in the hall, and I think Dave was like, "Holy shit, dude." And I think he kind of acted like he was like, I didn't even realize it. Like he was just thinking about like his physique.
Right.
It's like, oh, your cock is just so great, you don't even know it when you're out there, Devlin. You're so used to having that there.
Yeah.
It's breathtaking.
Jesus Christ.
I remember, like, when I first started here, Devlin was wearing pajamas to work every day.
Totally.
Right? Yeah, I think he was living in a closet.
It, like the day before he posted, because we started talking about the Dante thing that we were talking about on Barstool Radio with Dave and the Gronks and all that. And as I was talking to him, I was like, just noticing it, like the T-shirt, like fit right, and like, it's like, holy shit, Devlin's looking good. And the next second, I'm looking at his cock.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Dude, speaking of Dante and pictures in underwear, Dante.
What is this?
Last night, Dante tweeted, "Is Nick Bosa the hottest dude alive?" And then later, I was looking at Instagram. He'd added to his Instagram story, "Is Nick Bosa the hottest dude alive?" And then I don't like look at my text that often. And I checked my text, and I had 4 texts from Dante.
Is Nick Bosa the hottest?
Yo. First of all, that's how Dante always texts. Just yo, first of all.
I hate it. So annoying. So annoying.
Yo. Is Nick Bosa not the hottest dude alive? With a picture of Nick Bosa in the underwear. And then I hadn't replied to that. That was at 10:05 p.m. And I saw the most recent text was 10:12. And I was like, where's the other text? He had sent to the he'd sent a follow-up like question mark. Like, you know, you can do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So he had waited 7 minutes and had not gotten a reply from me and was like, I gotta get this guy's attention. So I was like, dude, are you waiting to finish to make sure it's like acceptably gay? Like, what he's like, well, yeah, he's a hot dude. He like, I didn't know Nick had.
Dante need to fight in Rough and Rowdy.
I think I want like a sitcom between.
There's something there, right?
Yeah.
He's like fucking Feitelberg.
He's
John's always,
dude, is this guy hot or not? Fight.
Yeah. You're kind of gay.
I was like, yeah, to be honest, I didn't know Nick Bosa from Adam before this, and yeah, that's a hot dude. That's a good looking dude.
You heard it here first. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon on Barstool Radio.